Welcome to A Mindful Life. We're out here today with another video in the Endless Being series. In the last video, we talked about the illusion of identity. And we got sort of deep with this because oftentimes we identify ourselves with things that aren't really us. We're much larger than we have been believing that we are many times. So you can go back and watch that video. It's pretty in-depth, but I wanted to just give a quick recap. Now, with this video is sort of like an expansion on the last one. Let's just call this video the Big I. E-Y-E. E-Y-E, the Big I. Now, we talked about how we are not our thoughts, feelings, ideas, humor. We're not these things. We're much larger. We're an eternal divine being. And what came out of that is this. If I'm in meditation, and I define meditation as any activity that you do that brings you into a quiet mind, that's how I would define meditation. So you don't have to be doing a specific thing that somebody else or some culture does. You have it already. It's already within you. You can ride a bike and be meditating, cooking and meditating. Now, there may be an intentionality before the meditation or why we're meditating. But the act of meditation itself is any act that brings you into a quiet mind. So if I'm in a quiet mind, I'm meditating, in meditation, how do I know? How do I know that these things are going on? How do I know that I'm not my thoughts? How am I able to come back and talk to you about this? Since there's no analyst, since there is no thinking and reflecting during the meditation. It's a perfectly quiet mind. This is how. And I'm going to give you an experience I had with meditation. Now, I'm not going to talk about what the meditation exactly was, but let me talk about the process. And I'm trying to explain this in words, but these things are not of the realm of language. So bear with this and let it be revealed to you. Now, meditation is any activity that you do that brings you into a quiet mind. So in meditation, and this is a real life story, by the way, in meditation, I came into mindfulness. Mindfulness to me is just an infinite mind. It's the quiet mind that has no past, present, or future, that is in the right now, in the present. It's like a blank slate of all possibility. I came into that mindful place. It's a place within me. Now, as I'm in mindfulness, I notice thoughts are coming in about what happened yesterday, about what I've got to do tomorrow, the next day. And it's difficult to meditate because I can't get to that quiet mind. So I stop. I try again the next day. I keep trying. These thoughts are coming and I can't get to that quiet place. That happened randomly before in prayer, but that's another story. So I had already experienced this, but I went purposefully into meditation to experience this more deliberately. So I come back the next day, try it again, and every now and then, the mental chatter would stop. It would slip away, and I would experience this quiet place. Let's call it mindfulness. I would experience this. The more I did it, the more I would experience this quiet place. Now, if I were to go into a meditation and try to force this, it wouldn't be meditation. I wouldn't get to that quiet place because I'm using effort to try to get a quiet mind. I can't use that. And when I say these thoughts coming in, maybe there was a disagreement I had with somebody the day before. I'm in meditation and this comes to mind. Maybe there's something I'm anticipating that I want and I'm excited about. That comes to mind too. These thoughts, let's just leave it right there for now, would come in and out. This is where I began to notice. And how was I able to notice this if I wasn't using my mind? And just go with this because this is a feeling thing I'm talking about. I began to realize that there was a broader perspective that was there. This is the reason why I was noticing these thoughts coming in and out because of this broader perspective. So I'm going to call this broader perspective the big I. It's an eternal vision. It's an eternal sight that is non-judgmental, that is always there, that is ever present, that just observes. It's like the background of the universe. And I noticed this. After meditation, I noticed that something was different, and it was this broader perspective or big I. Now, what I began to notice even more, and this was revealed to me after meditation, is that that broader perspective was in perpetual observation, quiet, eternal, non-local, outside of time. And these thoughts that would come in weren't just thoughts. The mental chatter that I'm talking about was not just mental chatter. It had with it emotion and a body state. So the thoughts, as I began to get more mindful and therefore more in touch with this broader perspective, the thoughts that I call thoughts, I began to get more aware, become more aware, and I began to realize that there was a thought, a feeling, and a body state. It was like a bundle of being. It was a bundle of being. It wasn't just a thought. But as I began to get more sensitive, I realized there was emotion attached to this and a body state. For example, I'm in meditation, and there was an argument I had 2 days ago with somebody, a disagreement. That would come to mind as the thought, but then there would be an emotion with it, say anger, or say regret, or whatever the feeling may be. Then with that would be a tension in my body. Now, that's okay if it's just one. But I begin, this is crazy. This is like an inner discovery that was revealed to me after meditation. Again, I'm trying to describe things that are not of the linguistic realm, so to speak. But what I began to realize is that each of these thoughts that came in was a bundle of being. Each thought had a feeling, a thought, and a body state. I call them state of being. It was like a state of being. And the thing is this, these states of being would come and go. It wasn't just like one came and that was it. They would come and go. And it was my beingness at the time. It was who I was. That's it, you see? Each state of being, picture this. Picture a state of being. I'm in meditation. You're in meditation. And this state of being comes in. And it's like a module. But there's a place in me that has a shape for this. And that state of being comes in, and it goes into that space, and it clicks in place. Now it becomes who I am. I know that may sound a little oversimplistic, but I'm trying to get across this experience, because it's an experience. I'm giving it to you in words, but it's really an experience. And as I began to stay with the meditation, it would leave. Another one would come. So let's just say the one about arguing and the feeling and tension. Now there was one that came about, I'm going to get this in the mail in 2 days. I'm excited. The thought of it, what it was, all of these things would come with a feeling in my body and an emotion. And that would come and click. So now what I want to do in the meditation, I want to get up and think about this thing or get up and prepare for this thing. You see, there was an action associated with it. As I began to stay with the meditation, it would leave. Another one would come. And then after so much of this, I began to say, wait a minute. I went through my life thinking that that was me. I totally identified myself with these states of being, but they were just states of being, a thought, an emotion, and a body state. So I began to allow these states of being to go in and out like birds. Birds flying, one would come in, stay with the meditation. See, sometimes these states of being are so strong that they want to possess me. And I don't mean that in any weird demonic way. It's just that it wants me to think about it. It wants me to feel it in emotion and body and get into some sort of action about it. But stay with that meditation. Let it come and it'll go. Now listen, nobody taught me this. I was not into that. I thought meditation was like something foreign, like it came from a foreign land, and I didn't know nobody around me meditated. This was just something I discovered. I just discovered this. And later I heard these testimonies that I said, wow, that matches what I experienced. So that's what I'm trying to describe to you, is that oftentimes we are just acting out of a state of being, and it's a superficial being. Now, I don't mean superficial like we're being fake. I mean superficial like it's not who we really are as an eternal being of infinite possibility. I allow these states of being to pass. Now, this is what began to happen. When I would be out just in public, talking to people, what I began to notice was there was an unentangled observer present. Now again, this might sound weird. It's nothing crazy about this. I'm trying to put this in words. So if I'm talking to someone, there was an unentangled observer observing the conversation, observing my state of being. During the actual, while I'm talking, there's an unentangled observer, the big I. This is my way of explaining this, that I got in touch with during meditation. And I realized that I could change my state of being after a while. See, before that, I was just at the mercy. Like I said, just picture being in meditation, right? And these bundles coming in, clicking into place, now it's you. Another one comes in, now it's you. If you're not aware, you might think it's just a thought. But the more I became aware, I began to understand that there was a feeling attached to it and a body state. But imagine before meditation, I'm just going through life thinking that I'm this. And it's one state of being after the other. Now imagine getting to a place of this unentangled observer comes into the picture. And you realize that you are talking out of a thought, a feeling, and a body state. A state of being has clicked into place and is driving you. Imagine the freedom that comes with realizing this, as opposed to just being at the mercy of these states of being. Now, if I'm in, for example, if I'm in meditation, and like I said this before, but if I'm in meditation and I'm getting a package in the mail, I'm excited about it. That's a thought that has a feeling in a body state. That's going to take me out of meditation, you understand? But the more I stay in the meditation and just let it happen, let it pass, it will fly away. When it flies away, I realize, wait a minute, that wasn't me. That was a state of, that was this state of being. Now, I'm not really realizing this in the meditation per se, but there is the big I, the unentangled, flat, infinite, non-judgmental, all-seeing observer is present, and it's me. But it's not the me that is my name or it's on the ID card, you see? And that's the point I made in the last video. So I'm making this video to tie into the last video about more detail about how could I know about these things and talk about them in the video if I'm in meditation. It's because meditation brought me into mindfulness. Mindfulness allowed the broader perspective to be revealed, which I'm calling the big I, E-Y-E-I, because it's an unentangled, infinite, non-judgmental observer. And this is how I can talk about it. And this is what I say before in the shadow part of that last video. A lot of these things are programs. Can you imagine these bundles of states of being coming in, clicking and being you, and it's just a program? And now you have a thought, a feeling, and a body state, and actions and words and etc. come out of that. A perspective comes out of this, and you didn't choose that. That was something maybe you were imprinted. Maybe someone trained you. Maybe you picked it up from the environment. Does it benefit you? That's the question. See, there are practical applications to this stuff. This is just not airy-fairy philosophy. Choose ye this day who you will serve. These states of being come in, and we just assume that this is me. This is what I think and feel. Yeah. It's a state of being. You are infinite. You are vast. You are undescribable. So it's a form of a superficial beingness for you. It's not who you really are. And to realize that leads down a pathway of more consciousness. And consciousness is awareness. And it leads to choice. Like I said, true choice can only come in the context of awareness. And for me to become aware of these states of being, when before I was just acting out of states of being, especially in this information age where we're bombarded with states of being, thoughts, feelings, and body states all the time that lead to actions, beliefs, perspectives. Have we chosen these? Do they serve us? Do they serve the world that we want to see? Are we becoming the change we want to see in the world? So those are the questions. But I wanted to get to this part in this video. So the next time you're in meditation, which is any activity that you do that brings you into a quiet mind, understand that if you're having this, what they call the monkey mind or the mental chatter, let it pass. Some of these are so convincing and believable that they just become me, my beingness right away. But when I stay in meditation and I don't react, it eventually flies away like the bird. So I'm going to thank you for coming to A Mindful Life, and we'll be back with the Endless Being series very soon. Okay? Thanks. Peace out.